Hello people, we are still going to continue with the effect of soul contract. Effect of soul contract. I was discussing it, I discussed it briefly in the first, my last video. But I want to say that before I continue with this, if there's anything if you watch my videos and there's anything that resonates deeply with you, and you want to know more about that, you can go get my book, The Soul Advocate. The title is The Soul Advocate, where I wrote extensively about the topics, where you can read it and then gain more awareness if you want to know, and then the rituals, the things you can do to overcome some of those things. The Soul Advocate, you can get The Soul Advocate on Amazon. You get it on Amazon. You get it on Amazon. I also have some copies now in Nigeria in Nazareth Publishing. You can get it from there. Okay, let's go on. You see, I was talking about the effect of soul contracts. You know, some of these soul contracts are the things that we do. We put ourselves, we go do them. You know, maybe when we are looking for some things, looking for power, for protection. Some people, when they are looking for children, they go to all these negative energetic imprint. You see, those ones, they are serving those like all those deities we go to, all those shrines people go to take power. You see, these people are serving this negative imprint. They serve them. So if you go to them, you are making agreement, you have made a contract with them to bind you, to begin to rule you. You know, that contract will begin to rule you. You become a part. They will put you as a part of them, a part of that. And so they will be using it to control, because you have made that contract with them. It will that energetic imprint will begin to control you, will begin to affect you anywhere you go. You see, sometimes when we put ourselves like that and we find ourselves, we move to another place, we'll be doing everything possible to make money. We'll be working very hard, but there will be a sip in energy. You see how they come to affect you? A sip in that energy. They will be taking your energy away from you. You see, if you make money, they will be taking the energy. That money will not make any sense. Will not make sense. You will make money, but you will not know what you will use the money for. You just that you are making money, but the money is not bringing you peace. You don't have that peace. You don't have that joy. You are miserable. Even when you have money, you are not happy. You see that that contract is taking the peace that you are supposed to have because of that agreement, that contract you made with them. Those energetic imprints are taking your peace, taking your joy, the good things that you are supposed to enjoy, because of that agreement, because of that contract you created with them, you made with them. You see, that's how they take away your energy. They take away your peace. You see, they take away your good. Remember that those energetic imprints, they are cut off from the divine source. They don't take supply directly from God. They don't. They get their needs met in random ways. And that's why bad things must not stop to happen. Bad things will always happen because they feed on the negative. They feed from those bad things that happen. So they can't take supply like you and I will receive supply from the divine source directly. God supplies our needs. It's not the same with them. Their own needs are met in random ways. When bad things happen, that's when they take supply. So they will be taking, and they take supply from people who go to them. See, when you go to them, they don't have energy. Their own energy cannot sustain them. You see, it is the pure energy that they take is what from people that sustains them. And then when bad things happen, that too, they take energy from me. So they don't have their own energy cannot sustain them. So they take from people who comes around them, people who goes to them, and the people they take energy from. So you who is going to make a contract with them, by asking them for one thing or the other, you want to progress, or you want to make money, you want to have children, or whatever reason you go to them for, it is your energy that they will begin to sustain them. They take it from you. So even when you make money, your money will not have any meaning. Even when you make money, you will be very sad. You see, and that money will not even help you. You won't even see it. Sometimes you're making, you don't even see where the money is going. You spend one thing, the whole money is gone, and you don't know what to use it for. Even when you use it, try to use it to do something, that thing could be a source of pain for you, because of the contract you make with them. So if you don't resign that contract, you don't revoke it, that's why it will continue to affect you in every way, in everything you do. You see, some people have already made contracts with these deities by joining some groups. Like some people who join cults, you know, they will join cults. During initiation, they will carry out some rituals, you know, to bind you. You see, all those, they are all soul level contracts. So even if you are not there, the most people used to do it when they are in schools. Even if you have finished the school, you graduated from the school, you are no longer meeting those people, you are no longer seeing them, the people that people were doing activities together. Remember that it's not about the people, it is the energy that is involved where you put yourself. You see, the people you make, the force that you make that contract, because everything is energy. People vibrate, everything you see is energy that vibrates at different frequencies. So it is not about the people, it is the energy that you made that contract with. You see, it's still binding in you, it's still controlling you until you take steps to break it. So you have to take steps to break. Even if you go to all those agents, because I call the agent who serve those energy, because everything must have a representation. You see, those energy imprints, like all these deities, they are represented in shrines. They are represented in, some people represent, some of them are represented in the ocean, water, all these, some oceans, some mountains, depending. There are some places that they are I mean, kind of like homes to them, where they have their homes, and they are represented in those kind of places. That's why there are something they want to do, some things to do, they will take you to the river. That is where they are represented. Sometimes they'll take you to shrine. That's why the shrine represent. That's why they are attached to. So some of them are attached to certain things and certain places. That you want to do anything, you go to those places, because that's where you can, you have, it's a space where they can be appeased. You can go there to appease them. So if you now indulge yourself in those things, they are there. That is why sometimes when you scatter a place, because they are attached to that environment, that very space, if you scatter the place, say you want to use the place for something, you have to, people do some rituals to appease the land, do certain things, just to, if you want them to move away from that place. And some people build houses in some of the areas where those powers were inhabited. And so when they do that, sometimes they don't find peace, because you just enter a place, you did not ask or make inquiries or ask questions, you just buy the place, build house, and at the end of the day you won't know peace, because that place was first inhabited by those deities, those powers, those energetic imprints. So you see, so when you join all those groups and you say, nah, I'm no longer with them, or it's gone, there is nothing like that. It's still binding in you, they are still controlling you, until you take steps on your own to break away from that group, to break away from the power, from the influence of that energetic imprint. So that's why important. Anything you are doing, anywhere you put yourself, and you are moving out of it, or you don't want to continue, break that contract. When you break it, they will not have control over you again. They will not have influence over you, because many people, some people donate their clothes to shrine, all these things, give your belongings, something from your own energy, and you drop it with an energetic imprint. It's something that is a deep soul level contract, and you really have to break it so that your life can move forward. And some people who have taken their children, and if you happen to be one of them, maybe your parents took you to all those places, and now maybe the agreement there is that from generation to generation their children will serve them, and now you are big enough, you now know what life is, you can see what is playing in the society, and you choose. Now there is a conflict of interest. your parents want you to serve those energetic imprints, but you yourself, no, you said no, you cannot be, you can't. And so the fact that you deny, you refuse, doesn't mean that it's a soul level contract that was entered into by your own father, binding you. So it doesn't mean that it's broken. No, it is you that has to break it. You have to move yourself away from that soul level contract. If you do the rituals, like I'm telling you, that anything that has to maybe that comes from there, or anything, if you even have your father's something that is with you, you can take that thing, let it represent that contract that he made with those people, with those energy imprints binding you. Use that thing, hold it, say the affirmation, the things you want to say concerning it, resigning it, moving yourself away from it, hold it up. It's something that you know you can burn at the end of the day. Then when you use that thing, then at the end of the day, you put fire on it, burn it. And once you burn it, the smoke that radiates and moves out is moving. And they too can perceive, because everything is energy. If you understand that, everything is vibration, it's energy that vibrates at different frequencies. So as that thing burns, they too can feel the effect. They will perceive it, and they will know that, oh, this person has done this. You know, you have moved, you are free, you have done it, and you have removed yourself from it, and then you become free. So anything you want to do now, you do it freely. Nothing will stand against you. Nothing will begin to sip your energy or take your money. A sip in energy could be money, it could be anything. Sometimes your money will be going. Sometimes they will be creating frustration. Anytime you go, you move to this place, they will turn you. You want to do one thing, you don't succeed, it's work, they will take another person. If you come, it becomes another. You know, they'll be creating. It creates confusion like that, creates pain, suffering. You know, there will be that kind of torture until you break yourself free from all those things. Because even when you make the money we are talking about, money will be going, you won't know what to use it for. But even when you manage to do one thing, that thing will not bring you peace. You will be sad. You will have it though, but you will be miserable. You will be sad because of that soul contract that was made on behalf of you by your parents, or you yourself, you put your hand in it, and you now left thinking that everything is over. It is not over until you bring it to an end. So that's it. And there are different ways you can create this soul level contract. I told you, you can create it in marriage, and when you leave that marriage, you have to break that soul contract so that you can attract a relationship that is going to be long lasting with a fresh energy. Because if you don't break it, you'll still be attracting the same person with a different face, but who embodies the same old energy of the last contract. So that's why it's important that you break it. And we can also create some of these soul contracts. You create by a promise of marriage. You can, like somebody who promised somebody, I'm coming to marry you, wait for me. The person is waiting. The person will wait for years, many years. That person is still waiting that he will come, only for you, maybe at the end of the day, you move with another person, and or maybe you abandon the person. Remember, you created a soul level contract. It was made verbally by promising that person that I'm coming to marry you. So, and now you did not fulfill that soul level contract. So you see, it will also create that struggle for you. That energetic imprint, that imprint of that agreement, that contract will create that suffering for you. You'll be seeking for someone, looking for love. You look for love everywhere. You'll be looking, but you see, no, you don't have that fulfillment, that satisfaction. So you see, some people will be moving from one relationship to the other, looking for happiness, looking for love, thinking that if they get this one, will make them happy. They find out that everything is there. They don't see the love they are chasing. They don't see the love they are looking for. You know, some of these, that's how they come in different ways. You see, that's why it's good to be impeccable with your words. Anything you are not going to do, even if you have done it and you see that later you cannot break it first. Break it. Mention the person's name. Write whatever you want to write. Stand in your affirmations and break that contract. You break it so that you can find your own peace. You can find your own thing, that balance you are looking for, that happiness and joy in relationship. You will find it. So that's why some of some of these soul level contracts. Sometimes we create the out of fear. We create soul level contract out of fear. Maybe we are trying to avoid something, or you are trying to avoid pain. You find the nearest, the route that you will not suffer pain. If you are meant to go through a particular level to evolve yourself, you'll be looking for the shortcut where we'll go and create soul level contracts. At the end of the day, we don't find solution. We don't find happiness there. Because we are avoiding this one, where the shortcut we want to take, we get stuck in it. You see, we get stuck in that. To move out, we will not be able to move out. To move forward, we will not move forward. We are just stuck in it because of what? Shortcut. Let me just this one quick. You remain there. There's no way again. It's like they have you by force in it, and it's not your interest, and you are not happy because it's not something that comes from your true self. You are not happy in it. You see, that's how we end up creating some of this soul level contract. It's important that if you have created one, you have to break it. When you break it, you will set yourself free, and you will be happy. Anywhere you go, the people will begin to meet are going to come with fresh energy, not energy of the past that will just be ruminating around where you are. You begin to attract people who embody that kind of energy coming to you, the same person with different faces, you know. So it's good that we don't involve ourselves in things that we know we are not going to do. But you know, life, sometimes we don't know when we are doing them. That's why we involve ourselves in them. You see, some of these contracts are mutable, some of them are not, some of them are flexible. They want to just say, okay, tomorrow we will do this, and you don't do it tomorrow. That one is just, tomorrow we are going to be this, we are going to do this together. Maybe just creating the literal verbal agreement, or you just say something. But those ones are just, they are flexible. You can easily despise them. But those deep ones that you go into places involving other people, doing all those things, they are very deep soul level contracts. So it's important that you ensure that you break them, so that you will set yourself free and you begin to live a new life, a free life. If you do that, you see that your life, which things will begin to happen differently for you. The places that they denied you before, they will accept you. Where they say no, they will say yes to you, because the energy that was blocking you has been removed away from your life. You see, that's why it's important that you do them. Even when you are going to church, you see, you think that you are with prayers you have prayed. There are some things that you need to carry out, some rituals like what I'm telling you. You know, even when you pray, do certain things, burn them, you know, like that, so that you can be free. I told you about how Jesus used mud to put on somebody's face. Of course, he could have just put his hand on top of his head and say, okay, I pray, I remove. But you must do some things to get some things out of your life. See, that's why I'm explaining this thing. I'm saying this, you know, so that you set yourself free from anything that puts you in bondage, so that you enjoy your life. You are a free spirit, you know. You are a free spirit. You are a divine being. You are a divine being. If you know that you are a divine being, you will know that nothing is supposed to bind you. So anything that tends to bind you, get it out. I was trying to explain before of a story in my last video, that some young children, some children in their peer were having some of them had embodied the energy of these negative imprints. So the children had embodied that energy, you know. So they now made vows with even those ones who didn't even know that those children had a link with those negative energies. But they were friends playing together. They made vows when they were young children. Some say they will not give birth when they grow. Some say they will not marry when they grow. So they mention different things that they will not do when they grow. But as a child, what do you know? You know anything? You are just saying. But they did not know that those other children who had link with those negative imprints, who were trying to work for them, they were children, but they were working for them because they were already initiated in all those kind of things. So when they were saying that, those energy imprints were sealing those things because there were agreements, even though they were children. You see, that's why when you realize it, when things are happening like that, because sometimes that's why I say some of us you see that it happens you do not know. Like some people, their children enter on their behalf. Like this one, as a child, you enter it. You will not have much knowledge about it because you were a child that time. But you see, those children, that happened. They made all those vows. When they grew older, some of them forgot. But some still remembered, you know. Those ones that were already, that had links with those ones, they remember. But the normal child will not, you know, you won't remember, will not remember that kind of thing because it was like a child's play to them. But at the end of the day, when they involved themselves in things that they said they were not going to do, they made those vows that they were not going to do. Some of them died in the process. One was given birth, she died. As she was dying, she was saying that she said she would not do those things. She could recall that she said she would not do. And that as she died, she said it that, okay, that she knew she would be going on, that she would go at so time. She even knew the time she was going to go. She would go at 12 o'clock. And at 12, she left. You know, leaving the child that she gave birth to and telling the sister to take care of that child. Very well. You see? So different other ones like that. Some said they will not marry. They remained, they did not marry. Because when it started happening to other ones, they became afraid that, oh, if they venture into things like that, they may also lose their lives. You see? And all these children, their parents take them to church. You see? They will follow their parents to church. They pray for them. They pray for them in the church. There are some things you have to practically break them. Even if they pray for you, you need to break them. Break free from that bondage, you know, that you created for yourself or they created for you. Take steps to break it. Even if it was done by your ancestors, there are sometimes a whole community will be bound by something. They will bind a whole community into a particular deity, that if you're a member of that community, because your forefathers have already sold you to them, they sold you to a particular deity. So if you now come from that particular area, you know, you automatically belong to that deity and you must pay allegiance to it. So if you come from that kind of place, you have to separate yourself from it, because it is a bondage. People in that place will move forward. All of them will remain the same. You must be doing some rituals to appease the deity. Anytime you stop doing, begin to kill either the family, begin to kill people in that community one after the other. You see how people immerse themselves in darkness and continue to allow that darkness to rule them. You see? So it's important. If you happen to come from any of those places, you can individually break away from it. It doesn't mean that if that thing was done collectively, you as an individual who now knows the truth will not break yourself from it. You can break your own, you can remove yourself from the situation. Others can remain in it too and let it bind them, but you break yourself from it. That is why I see some of this. I talk about this. I talk about reprogramming your subconscious beliefs, because some of them, those are just beliefs The beliefs that are not doing anything, are not helping them, beliefs that create bondage for them, but they hold them so dear to their hearts. They will not want to let them go. They will be talking about their culture, and no, that thing is just a bondage. You see, some people are buying like that. Their forefathers, some lineages are buying like that. You know, they enter into agreement, that contract to bind them, and then they will be carrying out some certain things. You know, some remain very wretched because of where they put them, where they bind their futures, where they enclose them. You know, so it's important that as you are hearing this, if you are watching my videos, if you come from those areas, or if your parents or your father or anyhow, or even in yourself, enter into a soul level contract with any of these negative energy imprints, try and separate yourself from it. If you want your life to move forward, if you want to experience that peace that God has given you, you know, because it's inside of you, break these things that are holding you back, so that you can access the true one that God has given you. I hope this helps. Have a blessed time. I love you guys.